Friends, we're at it again. I'm going to be redoing our office space, craft space. So let's get started. Hey friends, in this video I'm going to show you basically how we're going to remodel this office space again. And it's really not a remodel, it's painting the walls. We had a playroom before and we had a bunch of these decals. I took half of them off, but you could probably see those decals right now. If I can move this up here. Basically these decals were up here for about 8 years as our kids were kind of growing up, and we love them. Like, these decals were so amazing. I mean, you can see a little monkey on there. We had different themes like on each of the different sides. We had like a jungle, a sea, a farm, and just different sceneries, and they had their toys in here, so it was a great space. But right now my kids are older. My youngest is 3. She's kind of grown out of it, and so what I'm going to do is transform this space into some gray or white walls. I haven't figured out what color yet. And then I'm going to move all my IKEA furniture in and hopefully convince my husband to go build something for me. So we shall see. But this is going to be a walkthrough and us remodeling it. I want to show you guys what the room looked like before. So on the left, when you go in the room, you'll see a bunch of like Alex cabinets, and then this is the area where I actually worked. Now, when we actually redid the room, I actually flipped it. I don't know why, I just wanted to have more room, I think, on this back wall. But as you can see, all the decals were up, and these are removable decals that I got off of Etsy, which is awesome. And I still have this table that's kind of just in the middle of the room just so I can move it. Now, taking out the decals took forever. And we also took off the chair rail as well. So word to the wise, if you're going to put up a chair rail, just know that you might be pulling off some of the wall, and you'll have to do a lot of puttying if you want to ever remove that chair rail. So just a heads up. So anyway, we went ahead and then took off the chair rail, and then the chalkboard that we had, like the chalkboard paint that we had at the bottom, I had to use a magic eraser to basically remove all of the chalk markings that were on that wall. And so word to the wise as well, if you're going to plan on making one of the walls to be chalkboard, just know it's going to be a pain in the rear to basically remove all the chalk before you start painting. So we went ahead and used frog tape and kind of covered it up, and then did a lot of puttying on the chair rail to kind of get it up to speed. And then what we did was we went ahead and primed the chalk paint just so that it was covered. So after that, we painted the walls Benjamin Moore Revere Peter, and it actually turned out a little bit more taupe than it did upstairs when we painted the other room. So just a heads up, depending on your lighting, it will look a little bit darker than it did if you have a room where there's not a lot of natural light. So this is what it looks like. And I went ahead and moved all of my IKEA furniture. We didn't tack any of them to the wall at all, just because I know myself enough to know that I'm going to want to rearrange it one day in the future. All of these IKEA cabinets were fairly inexpensive. I got a ton of them, and as you can see, I had to put some underneath my standing desk. So on the left is a standing desk that has like a crank wheel that is from IKEA, and I love it so much. And it can actually kind of crank down all the way down to the top of those cabinets. I work from home in my corporate 9 to 5 as well, so I have 2 Apple Theater monitors that I use on that side. On the other side, I put all my crafting materials, so sometimes in my Zoom meetings or whatever, people will see my crafting, and I have to explain that I'm a crafter. That's why the wall looks the way it is. So anyway, I've got the standing desk, which I love, and then this wall is on the opposite side. And before I hung anything up permanently, what we did was we used craft paper to create some outlines of the different items I wanted to hang on the wall. I'm still not completely done with this wall yet. I've got a few things to kind of fill in on the bottom middle there, but I put a shelf up. I got a lot of my stuff from Hobby Lobby and the at-home store. I basically bought a bunch of stuff and then I returned a bunch of stuff. So I'm still not happy with how this wall turned out, but at least I like hung up the ones that I wanted to before he went in and basically drilled holes and nailed things in. But I think I'm going to get a letterboard for this wall as well, just so that whenever I do YouTube videos, I can change out the words and make it a little bit different from one video to the next. But I don't know. I'll probably change my mind and change what I plan on putting on the shelves every now and again. But But as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see on the left section, but there's like that little handle. That is my heat press for t-shirts. I make a lot of t-shirts for my kids, and so I bought this heat press off of Amazon for under, I think, $200, and it's been the best investment ever. However, what I will say is that we had to drill it into our IKEA cabinet that it's sitting on, because if you don't basically drill in that press, when you lift it up, it won't press the vinyl hard enough into the shirt, and then it'll just ruin the vinyl that's on the shirt after 1 to 2 washes. So that's my big tip to you, is if you get a heat press that you get off of Amazon, just make sure that you basically bolt it down to the cabinet. Anyway, the shelf that you see that I'm holding is basically this pink shelf. It was actually a black shelf from Hobby Lobby that I painted with this rose gold Rust-Oleum paint, and I absolutely love it. You guys know I'm obsessed with rose gold and basically anything that's pink, and I absolutely loved how it turned out. I'm not the best painter in the world. It took like 4 or 5 coats on top of the black shelf. It's a metal black shelf that I got at Hobby Lobby. I think it was like 99 bucks. So anyway, this is what real life looks like whenever I'm working, and also have all my hobby stuff out. So you can see all of the different Alex cabinets are on that back behind my desk, and then I have all the IKEA shelves. I didn't stack them this time just so that I had stuff to put on there, and also I wanted it to be a little bit more stable since I have littles. So you can see my camera, you can see all of the different things I have back there. I also put in inserts into my Kallax units, the IKEA Kallax units, because I needed like drawers in there. So it's really cool that I have drawers now in my Kallax. And then I have a bunch of wires. I got to figure out how to kind of hide all those wires there. But here's what it looks like when you come in. As you can see, I have an arm stand. This is the mic that I'm talking into. That's my printer, my laser printer, my monitor whenever I'm videoing. I also have my 2 screens. You have the Alex cabinets, all 4 of them, because I didn't want to stack them. I also didn't have any other room for it. And I have the bay windows, which is amazing lighting. And then you guys can see my shelves with a little bit of farmhouse flair. I have an empty gold frame. I have no idea what I'm going to put in it, but this is what it looks like for now. And this desk is awesome because I can move it around when I need to. Sometimes I want to face the window, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just want it like an L shape for my desk. So it does move around with me, and I have a chair in there that I kind of move around with it. So that's what the room looks like. I absolutely love it because it is very, very functional. I know things look a lot like white. I have white walls, white trim, white everything. I painted like some of the knobs to my units that rose gold to kind of match the shelf, so it's not too matchy, but it's got that like little pink accent. You can see that I've organized all of my Cricut and Silhouette machine stuff into these cabinets, so it's been really, really great just to have room for everything, and everything has its place. So that's what my shelves look like, and then I plan on doing something with that frame. And then as you can see, I have like scrapbooking paper, I have kids paperwork up there, I've got bills and all that in there. So this room is really and truly a place for crafting. It's my office space for my corporate 9 to 5, and it's also a place where kids are not allowed. And if you have any questions on any of the things that I showed today, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I'll make sure that I link to the products or the questions that you have. I hope you guys like that tour of my craft room. I am in love with it. Although it's not like picture perfect, it is very functional. I have all the stuff that I need in the places that I need them. I have my kids like schoolwork here. I have my office for my corporate day job also inside my craft room. I have crafting in here. I have a printer. I have all my Cricut machines. So it really, really works for me. I know that it is not the prettiest, but I am trying to make the space somewhere where I can not only work, but also feel like I'm in my kind of crafting office sanctuary. So this room is basically used for a lot of the different things. So my corporate job, it's also for my crafting and also for my vlog. And so I feel like the space works, especially with the table that's there. I can move it wherever I need to. So if I'm sewing, I can make it face the window. If I'm like needing another desk so I can sit down instead of using my seating desk, I have a desk for that. So I hope you guys like that tour. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you click on the subscribe button and click on the bell notification so that next time I create a new video, you guys get notified. All right, thanks guys.